And then we can probably start. And I just start by saying, Andreas from WolfVision, thanks for joining us today. From Austria. So Australia and Austria are two different countries for the people listening at home, but we've got one from both joining today, which is good. What I was really interested in, I've sat through a presentation with Andreas this morning and noticed that you still live in Austria.
Yes.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger has not lived in Austria for 40 plus years.
Yes.
Why does he have such a strong Austrian accent? You've almost lost your Austrian accent.
Oh, thank you for that. I don't know. We also make fun about the accent of Arnold. I speak quite a lot of English. Since WolfVision in Austria, we are exporting a lot of our devices. We are connected quite close with our customers all over the world. So I would say most of the time in my business life, I'm talking English.
Speaking English, that's where it's come from then. Tell us a bit about WolfVision. WolfVision, for folks that will be listening to this show, and I guess to give you a position of WolfVision in Australia, from the AV realm, WolfVision is one of those products that sort of sits on the periphery for us, but it's always got really interesting stuff. So give us a bit of a history of WolfVision and the things that you're up to.
Yeah. WolfVision, back in the 70s, the idea of Pepe Wolf, that was the founder of the company. He passed away 2 years ago. He had the idea of the document camera. And that was really the first steps of WolfVision. That's the reason why we are called WolfVision.
And that's where you're most known in our region.
Yes.
There's a WolfVision document camera in almost every university or high school.
Yeah, and from that point, the development started with all the different document cameras. But I would say around 10 years ago, also WolfVision saw the transformation into the digital world. There were different technologies and approaches for that to move also into this direction. And that was the starting phase for the Synap family, what we talked about today in our presentation. Our vision is really to give our users the best technology to transfer their knowledge, to do their presentations, to make it interesting. And there's a lot of things in the meantime going on in such a presentation, and this is what we concentrate. Still, there is the visualizer, and it's a good add-on product to the Synap, but also standalone in different installations. But a new way of teaching. Courtrooms are getting more and more digital. We don't have to talk about the pandemic and web conferencing, how important it is to have a hybrid classroom or a hybrid meeting. And this drives us, and we're trying to develop the right stuff as we talk today.
Yeah, and I think what resonated with me in today's presentation was, and we had a chat about this a bit earlier, we sort of saw pre-pandemic universities in particular or educators in particular were trying to find different ways to teach, but to teach effectively, but then also to recognise that the way people learn has changed as well. Then the pandemic came along and everyone was thrown into being remote. And it was thought for a little while that, well, remote is the future now. That's it. Remote's going to be how it is and we're never going to go back to campus life or anything. Universities in particular have realised, no, we need people on campus. That's our offering, is that whole campus life, campus experience. So people are going back to school. And your product set seems to have really capitalised beautifully on the ability to do things like teaching multidisciplinary. So I can teach well in the class, I can teach well at home at the same time. Is there a lot of research and development that goes into delivering the products that you're delivering now to make sure that you're doing well in education as opposed to just being there?
No, really, we are close connected with our customers. We talk a lot with universities, and especially through this time of the pandemic, everybody was shocked how we go on with everything. And as you just mentioned, there was this big trend of having remote universities, but we learned that it's so important for the students and also for the universities to be on campus. There are sessions, topics which can be covered in videos or in remote sessions, but as an example, the active learning. It's coming together, working in teams, having fun, and really also this interaction with your colleagues. And when I think back to my university time, that's one of the funniest and best things I had to discuss topics with others on the campus. And so we try to understand really the needs of the customers and of the universities, and it's not always this is the way to go. It's a range, and this is why we develop like we do, to say it is possible in the classroom, but it is also possible to have a remote experience. But depending on the way of teaching, I guess I would say there are like a lecture hall style classroom or session. That's something which works perfectly fine with a recording, such as a lecture capture recording or an online session. But really working in groups and doing research together, I would see the market more going back to the campus and work together as teams.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, again, when we talk about how learning has changed, even from my generation, we're probably very similarly aged, and we're from that generation where we're sort of old enough to understand what an analog world was like, without all the tech to make our lives easy. But we've grown up in a very digital world. Now, for the generation of people that are studying at university now, like, their world is different yet again. And in particular, the way that they receive content and the ability that they've got to focus for a long period of time. And I think the thing that stood out today with the Synapse product is a lecturer needs to be able to run a lecture these days with multiple pieces of media ready to fire at any one time. And it can be from here, there, wherever. And we've got to be able to deliver them in the right selection of time so that we can keep the kids focused. Are these the things that you're building your product based on? Do you try and satisfy that sort of need?
Definitely. So what you just said, the different inputs, like our solution with the composer, the idea behind was really, and when we talk to the universities, to the students, to the academics, we learned it has to be more flexible. And the main idea was really, and it looks like a little bit like a DJ turntable.
Exactly.
Yeah, we said, okay, you have your playlist for your presentation. You want to bring in streams, cameras, web conferences, whatever, and you can structure your playlist and then going online to the screens, or in a DJ talking, it will be being on the speakers. Yep. And that was really the idea behind, to make it, to give the students what they really want to have. It should be not just a PowerPoint presentation, which is clicked through over hours.
Correct.
Yeah. And this media change, it helps to stay focused. It helps also the academic to have better sessions, I guess. And that was the focus. And we try to bring in experts, and for us an expert is a user. Definitely. So we try to bring them into our headquarters, or we try to travel around and have sessions with them at their campus, and just discuss where are the pain points, what do you want, what is the perfect presentation looks like. And out of that we start designing our user interfaces and workflows behind, and try to keep it as simple as possible, because that's always the big challenge, to have a lot of features, cool stuff, but it should be controllable by a non-technical trained person.
Correct. Because that's one of the things too, when you're working in the university sector in particular, is and we do a lot of work in unis. I'm very passionate about the uni space. I was a lecturer at uni for 10 years. I loved my time at uni, and I love being involved with that university sector. And the way I try and coin, so you've got users, all right? User experiences are based on the user. The thing that is really tricky in a university environment and most teaching environments is that there's two types of user. There's the operator, which is your lecturer, and their set of objectives for the day is, I want to get kids excited about the knowledge that I have to deliver. Like, that's their objective. And then you've also got the consumer of that tech as a user, which is the student. And the student, for the most part, is like, I want to try and get the key bits of the information out of this lecture that I need, and then I want to go home and learn it on my own. And that's very different to when we were kids, because school was where you did the learning. Where now school is more about the introduction of the concepts and the learning happens self-paced. What other tools does like the platform like Synapse offer that allows students to then have the same learning experience at home?
For example, we talked about lecture capture today to really give them high quality recordings into their hand. There are a lot of services around, for example, Panopto or Kaltura or you name it, to give them the introduction, give them all the information they need, but then they have a quite intelligent video file available for doing their home studies, for example, with text recognition, with speech recognition. So these video files can be searched for a term or for a word, and the system will tell you this and that second the professor, the academic talked about it.
So it goes into that level of capturing using AI as well?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. And this is really when we use this tool also in our company, when from the headquarters we want to train our sales team, for example, it makes the chapters automatically. It will detect the slides you show, the texts and everything. And this is just the next level.
Yep.
Because a video file is always, you start watching it and then
even something as exciting as like when they brought chapters into YouTube. Like for ages it used to be you'd watch a YouTube video and I got to skip like to try and find my point. Having chapters makes all the difference. What's it like working for WolfVision? Like what's the cultural experience like?
I love it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm there now since 6.5 years.
Yeah.
I came from a different industry, so it was for me a totally new field.
Where are you? What industry are you from?
I was self-employed. Originally, I'm coming out of the construction industry.
Oh yeah, wow.
So I'm a learned carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I was in the university, studied process and product management, and then started working in another company in the construction industry, getting self-employed for 6 years, doing like a consultant in product development.
Yep.
But this was my first touch into this pro AV market.
Yeah, wow.
And I came into this family, WolfVision, I have to say, because it's really, we're based in Austria in the mountains. We're close with each other. We're really having a good time, and we really work in a team. So it's... When I entered the team, or when I joined WolfVision, they took care of me. They learned me everything about this market, and so it was easy for me to jump into this new role as a product manager for Synapse and software development. Yeah, and we have a lot of fun. We travel a lot. We're so much in. We talk to our customers so often. And for me, really, an expert is always the user. There are a lot of trends. Nowadays, we talk a lot about AI and whatever. And for me, the user-centered development, that's key. And to give them all these cool features and all these possibilities, but make it easy to control. And I think that's where new technologies and AI can help us, but that makes it really interesting for me at WolfVision to have such a great team. We do all the development in Austria, front end, back end software, also the hardware. So short ways, we're a quite small company, and we're talking to everybody every day. So it's really good.
Still a very well-known company, particularly in this region in education. You know, it's core in education, periphery like in some of the other areas. My question was going to be along the lines of someone that has not been in AV or tech for the larger part of their career. I've been in AV my entire life in one way or another, right? Like when I was wiring speakers as like a 4-year-old and trying to, tinker with things, and one thing led to another. I've always been involved in this. It's not something that's new to me. But for someone that enters AV without that technical background, the foresight that must offer you in being a user. When you're so technical your entire life, it's very easy to assume everyone else is technical, including your users. Has that given you an ability to sort of empathize with clients a bit more because you're not necessarily a lifelong school of tech? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I love technical stuff and audio and video. It was always a part of my life, in my private life, but not in my business. But now when I go to customers, to users, discuss certain topics, I think I'm still a little bit, maybe, I don't know if this is the right saying in English, but a little bit fresh. I'm not too long in this field, and we can think different ways to do things. And I love UIs, UXs. That's really a thing.
It's the same as me.
For me, having a device such as a smartphone and having a cool app which just works.
Yep.
And it's a swipe. It's not a press.
Yep.
That's it. And I love this. And this is something I try as good as possible together with the whole team to bring into the sign app, because I think that's key.
It's the most important thing. It is the most important thing. It's the thing in my career, whenever I have an opportunity to do, if I speak like at a function or something, or a trade show, whatever it might be, I'm always trying to leverage the importance of that user experience, because no one cares about the technology. And I use the example in AV. I can make a customer spend upwards of $1 million on something, and all they ever get is the touch panel. That's their window into what it is that they're doing. So if that doesn't do one thing the way that they think that it should, that whole $1 million has been wasted, because they're thinking, I want the solution to do this, and it doesn't do it. So my emphasis is always start with the user experience and build the solution out from there. Most people get so wound up in the tech that they're like, I know what tech you need, and they build the tech, and then they try and teach the user how to use it. And I think that's where things go wrong. And I really love the way that you guys have put together the UI for this platform, because it's just so intuitive. Like, it's all in front of you and easy to access. That's been thought out intentionally, obviously, with all the work that goes into the R&D, right?
Definitely. Yeah. So we, for example, the composer, what we saw today, our DJ composer, that started back in 2019, doing the first workshops and developing in this direction. And also the future will look like this. There is so much workflows when it comes to web conference, when it comes to presenting content, recording, and so on, which can be easier.
Yep.
And we believe that this will be our path for the future too, to have all these technical possibilities available for the user, but keep it simple.
Yeah.
Give them 2 buttons, that's enough.
What about outside of work? What does Andreas do for passion?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no kids. I have a lot of time.
Same here.
Yeah.
I have nothing but time and a bit of spare money.
Yeah. And I love to ride motorcycles. I used to do.
Mate, I think you and I have actually like dimensional twins or something, because I'm the same.
Could be. Yeah. No, I love riding motorcycles. I live in the mountains, so I go a lot of skiing in winter. In summer, we go mountain biking. That's really good. I love to be at the lake, just having a drink at the lake in the evening, or go for a swim. Enjoy life. Travel.
Yeah.
Quite often in Canada. My dad moved to Canada part-time 30 years ago, so there is a cottage up there, off-grid cottage, to really turn off everything.
Beautiful.
No tech.
Yeah.
That's really good. Be there 2 times a year.
Yeah.
And enjoy life. I
What
have a
sort of
beautiful
bike
wife.
do you ride?
Different. So on one side, I love old Harleys.
Yeah.
So I have a WLA.
Yep.
Yeah. From 42. So last year it was the 80th birthday of it.
Amazing.
It's a bobber style custom bike. And on the other side, I'm coming out of motocross when I was younger. Nowadays, I'm
dirt bikes too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm riding a 300cc 2-stroke Husqvarna.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Keep it European. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm a Japanese bike rider, so
Okay.
I spent most of my life riding Kawasaki's. So I had the ZX2, the ZX6, the ZX10, and then the ZX14. So I went through the whole range.
Okay.
But now I ride a Suzuki Boulevard, which is a very big cruiser, 1800cc cruiser.
Yeah.
It's big and I love it, and I've custom airbrushed it and done all the things to it to make it beautiful. But I want a BMW. I want like a 1200, something in a dual sport for me. I like the concept of being on a road and then seeing a trail and going, oh, I'll go down there. I can't do that now. There's no chance I can do it. So getting a dual sport is my next important thing.
Yeah. There are a lot of gravel roads in Europe. There is even an own application for the smartphone, a navigation system for gravel roads.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, you go through Europe, and if you have a dual sport, you just turn
Wherever
right and
you're
you're
gonna
in
go.
gravel. And that's really cool. So
What is it like riding in Europe?
depends on the country.
Yeah.
You know, in Germany, if you're a speed racer,
You go very fast, apparently,
So
yeah.
you go to the German Autobahn, and there's no speed limit.
And is
You
that
can do-
true? There's no speed limit?
There's no speed limit. There are parts of it. There are speed limits, but there a big part of the Autobahn. There's no speed limit, so you can do whatever you want.
I didn't know whether that was true or not.
No, it is. It is really. You drive there with your car with 220 kilometers per hour, and there's someone behind blinking with the light because Porsche
Yeah, they
taking
won't
over
pass.
with 280. I don't know. Yeah, that's the German thing. But we have a lot of mountains, so we drive up and down and up and down. Perfect scenery, and a lot of gravel roads. I love the place where I live, so that's really. Travel a lot, see a lot of places, and but I love it.
My godmother is Austrian.
Oh,
Yeah, and she's lived here her entire life since she was probably 5 or 6 years old. So I've always heard about Austria, and I've been exposed particularly to Austrian food because she cooks amazing Austrian food. So I've spent a lot of my life eating that, but I've never been, and it's definitely something I want to do because that Alpine region, just in general, has to be some of the most beautiful country on the planet, right?
yeah, it is. It is beautiful, and especially we are in the western part of Austria, so just at the border to Switzerland and Germany. So it takes us 3 hours to go to Italy, and we go down south over the weekend and have a different culture, different food, different language. It's great, and we travel quite a lot. We have a little camper van, and over the weekends, my wife and me, we are driving to Italy and having good wine. And
Stop it.
yeah, sorry.
It's so spiteful because here you can drive for like one full day and be in the same country. And like for us, even like to fly to Sydney takes best part of an hour, and it'll probably cost $300 or $400 return. Now, you can fly from Spain to Italy for like €60 or something, and you're there in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, or you take the train because
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
good train system to jump between the countries, and everything is close. But it's funny because it's different culture in every country. Even in Austria, the western part, we are more like the Swiss guys.
Yep.
And the eastern part, it's Vienna. It's totally different to even our dialect, and our German is totally different.
Yeah.
So
But that makes the appeal of Europe so wonderful for me, is that you can, like, again, you can't experience, we experience different culture in Australia because we're so multicultural, because your neighbours are, of different ethnicity, but you can't go somewhere conveniently and experience their culture. It's always a 7, 8, 9, 10 hour flight. I would love to be able to just jump on a train and go to another country. It's not something you can do here. Andreas, I want to thank you for your time. This has been good. Before I let you off the hook, is there any sneaky subjects that you can let us in on that might be coming from WolfVision? Is there any gossip? Is there anything that we might be able to know that's not going to put you in any trouble, but might be worth us, staying connected to the internet to see?
So first of all, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
It was really good. The first time in the
First podcast.
Yeah,
I love it.
A little bit nervous,
Love it.
No, the next thing, what we're going to introduce is bringing our collaboration feature, presentation feature with Synap together with a audio video appliance. So the Sign Up video bar will be available soon. Let's call it like this, and it will combine the web conferencing approach to have bring your own meeting and being platform agnostic. Use this camera, this microphone, the speakers on your device without the need of plugging in a cable.
Beautiful.
And we have a beautiful partnership in Germany since we're so close. It's about, I would say, an hour away with the company Phone. Known for the good
Some
speakers.
of the best speakers that you'll ever come across, and that is a very well-known brand here.
Yeah, and so we're together in a team now. And,
Brilliant.
They do the audio, we do the presentation, and we also have a partner, a development partner for the best microphone. So we said, let's bring the experts together on a table and bring a solution all in one.
Terrific. And so I imagine if anyone is heading to ISE in Barcelona, you'd be able to see it all set up over there?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Please be there. It will be shown on ISE and Infocom then later in the year.
Beautiful. Okay. I think I definitely won't see anyone at ISE. I might see some people at Infocom, but I'm not doing Europe this year.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
For anyone that wants to follow up on any of the stuff that we've spoken about today, we're going to have links in the comments. If you've got any comments for Andreas, you might want to throw some questions or know what's going on, chuck them in the comments below. And then we'll see you next time you fly down to Australia.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.